Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, also known as Roissy Airport, is the largest international airport in France. It is named after Charles de Gaulle, leader of the Free French forces during the Second World War, founder of the French Fifth Republic and President of France from 1959 to 1969. Charles de Gaulle Airport is located within portions of several communes 25 kilometers to the northeast of Paris. The airport serves as the principal hub for Air France as well as a European hub for Delta Airlines. In 2015, the airport handled 65,766,986 passengers and 497,763 aircraft movements, thus making it the world's 8th busiest airport and Europe's 2nd busiest airport in terms of passenger numbers. It is also the world's 10th busiest and it is Europe's 2nd busiest airport in aircraft movements. In terms of cargo traffic, the airport is the 12th busiest in the world and the 2nd busiest in Europe, handling 2,150,950 metric tons of cargo in 2012. The incumbent director of the airport, Frank Goldnadel, was appointed to his position on 1 March 2011. Location: Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport covers 32.38 square kilometers of land. The airport area, including terminals and runways, spans over 3 départements and 6 communes. The choice of constructing an international aviation hub outside of central Paris was made due to a limited prospect of potential relocations or expropriations and the possibility of further expanding the airport in the future. Seine-et-Marne département, communes of La Maison-la-Melotte, Beauregard, Mitry-Mory. Saint-Denis département, commune of Tremblay en France. The Val d'Oise département, communes of Roissy en France and Paris-Les Management of the airport lies solely on the authority of Paris Airport, which also manages Orly, Le Bourget, Marseille in Egypt, and several smaller airfields in the suburbs of Paris. History. Development. The planning and construction phase of what was known then as Aéroport de Paris Nord began in 1966. On 8 March 1974 the airport, renamed Charles de Gaulle Airport, opened. Terminal 1 was built in an avant-garde design of a 10 floors high circular building surrounded by 7 satellite buildings, each with 6 gates allowing sunlight to enter through apertures. The main architect was Paul Andréu, who was also in charge of the extensions during the following decades. Corporate identity. The Fruiger typeface was commissioned for use in the airport and implemented on signs throughout the building in 1975. Initially called Roissy, it was renamed after its designer Adrien Fruiger. Until 2005, every PA announcement made at Terminal 1 was preceded by a distinctive chime, nicknamed Indicator Roissy and composed by Bernard Parmigiani in 1971. The chime can be heard in the Roman Polanski film Frantic. The chime was officially replaced by the Indicator FADP chime. Terminals. Charles de Gaulle Airport has 3 terminals. Terminal 1 is the oldest and situated opposite to Terminal 3. Terminal 2 is located at another side with 7 sub-terminal buildings. Terminal 2 was originally built exclusively for Air France. Since then it has been expanded significantly and now also hosts other airlines. Terminals 2A to 2F are interconnected by elevated and situated next to each other. Terminal 2G is a satellite building connected by shuttle bus. Terminal 3 hosts charter and low-cost airlines. The CDGVAL light rail shuttle connects Terminal 2 to Terminals 1/3 and the parking lots. Refer to ground transportation below for interterminal transfers and transport to central Paris. The first terminal, designed by Paul Andréu, was built in the image of an octopus. It consists of a circular terminal building which houses key functions such as check-in counters and baggage claim conveyors. 7 satellites with boarding gates are connected to the central building by underground walkways. The central building, with a large skylight in its center, dedicates each floor to a single function. The first floor is reserved for technical operations and not accessible to the public. The second floor contains shops and restaurants, the CDGVAL interterminal shuttle train platforms and check-in counters from a recent renovation. The majority of check-in counters, however, are located on the third floor, which also has access to taxi stands, bus stops and special pickup vehicles. Departing passengers with valid boarding passes can reach the fourth floor, which houses duty-free stores and border control posts. For the boarding gates, the fifth floor contains baggage claim conveyors for arriving passengers. All 4 upper floors have assigned areas for parking and airline offices. Passages between the 3rd, 4th and 5th floors are provided by a tangle of escalators arranged through the center of the building. These escalators are suspended over the central court. Each escalator is covered with a transparent tube to shelter from all weather conditions. These escalators were often used in film shootings. The Alan Parsons Project album I, Robot features these escalators on its cover. Terminal 2 is spread across 7 sub-terminals, 2A to 2G. Terminals 2A to 2F are connected by interterminal walkways, but Terminal 2G is a satellite building 800 meters. Terminal 2G can only be accessed by shuttle bus from Terminals 1, 2A to 2F and 3. The CDGVAL interterminal shuttle train, Paris.It Regional Express and high-speed TGV rail station, or Aéroport Charles de Gaulle 2 TGV, is located within the Terminal 2 complex and between 2C and 2E, 2D and 2F. Terminal 2F was used for the filming of the music video for the U2 song, Beautiful Day. The band also had the picture taken inside Terminal 2F for the album artwork of their 2000 album, All That You Can't Leave Behind. Collapse of Terminal 2E on the 23rd of May 2004. Shortly after the inauguration of Terminal 2E, a portion of it collapsed near Gate E50, killing 4 people. 2 of the dead were reported to be Chinese citizens and another a Czech. 3 other people were injured in the collapse. Terminal 2E had been inaugurated in 2003 after some delays in construction and was designed by Paul Andréu. Administrative and judicial inquiries were started. Andréu also designed Terminal 3 at Dubai International Airport, which collapsed while under construction on the 28th of September 2004. Before this accident, ADP had been planning for an initial public offering in 2005 with the new terminal as a major attraction for investors. The partial collapse and indefinite closing of the terminal just before the beginning of summer seriously hurt the airport's business plan. In February 2005, the results from the administrative inquiry were published. The experts pointed out that there was no single fault but rather a number of causes for the collapse. In a design that had little margin for safety, the inquiry found the concrete vaulted roof was not resilient enough and had been pierced by metallic pillars, and some openings weakened the structure. Sources close to the inquiry also disclosed that the whole building chain had worked as close to the limits as possible, so as to reduce costs. Paul Andréu denounced the building companies for having not correctly specially prepared the reinforced concrete. On the 17th of March 2005, ADP decided to tear down and rebuild the whole part of Terminal 2E, of which a section had collapsed, at a cost of approximately €100 million. The reconstruction replaced the innovative concrete tube style of the jetty with a more traditional steel and glass structure. During reconstruction, 2 temporary departure lounges were constructed in the vicinity of the terminal that replicated the capacity of 2E before the collapse. The terminal reopened completely on the 30th of March 2008. Terminal 2G, dedicated to regional Air France flights and its affiliates, opened in 2008. This terminal is to the east of all terminals and can only be reached by shuttle bus. Terminal 2G is used for passengers flying in the Schengen area and handles Air France regional and European traffic and provides small-capacity planes with a faster turnaround time than is currently possible by enabling them to park close to the new terminal building and boarding passengers, primarily by bus or walking. A bus line called Navit Orange P connects the Terminal 2G inside the safety check area with Terminals 2E and 2F. Passengers transferring to other terminals need to take a bus in the public area and therefore pass through safety checks again. Hall L. The completion of 750 meters long Satellite 3 to the immediate east of Terminals 2E and 2F provides further jetways for large-capacity airliners, specifically the Airbus A380. Check-in and baggage handling are provided by the existing infrastructure in Terminals 2E and 2F. Satellite 3 was opened in part on the 27th of June 2007 and fully operational in September 2007. It corresponds now to Gate L of Terminal 2E. Hall M. The Satellite S4, adjacent to the S3 and part of Terminal 2E, officially opened on the 28th of June 2012. It corresponds now to Gate M of Terminal 2E. Dedicated to long-haul flights, it has the ability to handle 16 aircraft at the same time, with an expected capacity of 7.8 million passengers per year. Its opening has led to the relocation of all SkyTeam airlines to Terminals 2E, 2F and 2G. Future Air France has moved all of its operations previously located at 2C to 2E. In October 2012, 2F closed its international operations and became completely Schengen, allowing for all Air France flights currently operating in 2D to relocate to Terminal 2F. Further, in April 2013, Terminal 2B closed for a complete renovation and will receive upgrades, including the addition of a second floor completely dedicated to arrivals. Once 2B is completed, 2D will close and receive similar upgrades, including the addition of a new floor. Low-cost carrier EasyJet has shown its interest in being the sole carrier at 2B. To facilitate connections, a new boarding area between 2A and 2C was opened in March 2012. It allows for all security and passport control to be handled in a single area. It allows for many new shopping opportunities as well as new airline lounges, and eases transfer restrictions between 2A and 2C. According to La Tribune newspaper, a new Terminal 4 is likely to be built around 2025, when Charles de Gaulle Airport's maximum capacity of 80 million will be reached. This new Terminal 4, when constructed, will be able to accommodate 30 to 40 million passengers per year and will most likely be built north of Terminal 2E. Terminal 3 is located 1 kilometer away from Terminal 1. It consists of separate buildings for arrivals and departures. The walking distance between Terminals 1 and 3 is 3 kilometers long. However, the rail station for RER and CDG-VAL trains are only at a distance of 300 meters. Terminal 3 has no boarding gates constructed, and all passengers are ferried via boarding buses to the aircraft stands. Roissy Airport is a complex consisting of office buildings, shopping areas, hotels, and a bus coach and RERB station within Charles de Gaulle Airport. The complex includes the head office of Air France, Continental Square, the Hilton Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, and Le Dome building. Le Dome includes the head office of Air France Consulting, an Air France subsidiary. Continental Square has the head office of XL Airways France, the head office of Air France subsidiary Servair, and the Air France Vaccination Center. Airlines and destinations. Passenger cargo ground transportation. CDG-VAL free automatic shuttle rail service at Charles de Gaulle Airport, consisting of 2 lines, is based on the VAL operational system. The shuttle train connects both railway stations for Terminals 1/3 and Terminal 2 in 8 minutes. RER Charles de Gaulle Airport is connected to central Paris by the RERB regional express services. During off-peak hours and weekends, there are 2 types of services: 4 trains per hour to Saint-Arrêt-Coutem-les calling at all intermediate stations to Cité Universitaire, then Bourg-Lorraine, Le Croix de Bernay, Antony, Massy Paléo, and then all stations to Saint-Arrêt-Coutem-les and 4 trains per hour to Massy Paléo, non-stop express until Gare du Nord, and then all stations to Massy Paléo. The express RERB only call at the railway stations of Terminal 1 and Terminal 2 before Gare du Nord. Journey time is 30 to 35 minutes. The stopping RERB take about 35 to 40 minutes and is sometimes overtaken by the express RERB trains. Aéroport Charles de Gaulle 1 is located inside Roissy Airport next to Terminal 3 and is the preferred way to access Terminals 1 and 3. Aéroport Charles de Gaulle 2 TGV is located in the middle of Terminals 2C and 2E at Terminals 2D and 2F. RERB is jointly operated by SNCF and RATP, but the regional express used to suffer from slowness and overcrowding. For these reasons, French authorities have started 2 projects. CDG Express, which is supposed to link Charles de Gaulle Airport to Paris Gare de Lyon railway station from 2023 with trains specifically designed for air travelers. RERB Nord Plus, which modernizes and streamlines rail traffic. RERB north of Gare du Nord. TGV Terminal 2 includes a TGV station on the LGV interconnection Est high-speed line. SNCF operates direct TGV services to several French stations from CDG, including Lille, Strasbourg, Dijon, Lyon, Marseille, Montpellier, Toulouse, Bordeaux, Nantes, Poitiers, Rennes, Toulon, as well as services to Brussels in Belgium. Bus-Easy Bus offers a non-stop airport bus service to central Paris between Charles de Gaulle Terminal 1 and Le Palais Royal, Louvre area. Roissy Bus, operated by the RATP, departs from Terminals 1 and 2 and runs non-stop to Palais Garnier. Le Bus Direct operates to several destinations. Line 2 to Place de l'Étoile, Port-Maillot, Trocadéro and Eiffel Tower. Line 3 to Paris-Orly. Line 4 to Gare Montparnasse and Gare de Lyon railway stations. RATP buses 350 and 351 depart from the coach station in Roissy Airport. Bus via Disneyland departs from all 3 terminals. After the last RERB service at 2350, the Noctillion N143 and N140 depart every 30 minutes an hour respectively from Terminal 1 Door D12, Terminal 2 F Door 2 and Roissy Pole Coach Station. Both bus lines run to Paris-Gare de Lyon railway station. Idbus. Since the 17th of December 2012, SNCF's national and international coach network, IDBUS, serves Charles de Gaulle Airport by Terminal 3, Station CDG1. London, Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, Lyon. Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, Lyon. Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, Lille. Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, Brussels. Car Charles de Gaulle Airport is directly connected to Autoroute A1 which connects Paris and Lille. Taxis and transfers. The ride by taxi from CDG Airport to city centre is 45 minutes and from €50 to €65, depending on the type of service car required. Alternative airports. The two other airports serving Paris are Orly Airport and Le Bourget Airport. Some low-cost airlines also advertise Beauvais-Tillet Airport and Chalons-Vatry Airport, respectively 85 km and 165 km from Paris proper, as serving Paris with Paris-Beauvais and Paris-Vatry. Beauvais Airport has no railway connections, but there is a shuttle bus to central Paris a few times daily. Accidents and incidents. On the 6th of January 1993, Lufthansa Flight 5634 from Bremen to Paris, which was carried out under the Lufthansa CityLine brand using a contact Air-8-300, hit the ground 1,800 meters short of the runway of Charles de Gaulle Airport, resulting in the death of 4 out of the 23 passengers on board. The 4 crew members survived. The accident occurred after the pilot had to abort the final approach to the airport because the runway had been closed. The aircraft immediately ahead, a Korean Air Boeing 747, had suffered a blown tire upon landing. On the 25th of May 2000, a freight carrying short SH-36, departing to Luton, England, collided on the runway with departing Air Liberty Flight 8807, an MD-83 jet. The first officer of the SH-36 was killed when the wingtip of the MD-83 tore through his side of the flight deck. The captain was slightly injured and all others aboard survived. On the 25th of July 2000, a Concorde Air France Flight 4590 from Charles de Gaulle to John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York crashed into Les Relabliers Hotel in Gonessa, killing everyone on the aircraft and 4 people on the ground. Investigations concluded that a tire burst on takeoff due to metal left on the runway from a previously departing aircraft, leading to a ruptured fuel tank and resulting in engine failure and other damage. Concorde was conducting a charter flight for a German tour company. Theft. In December 2006, 20 baggage handlers were found guilty of theft. In 2007, 19 baggage handlers were found guilty of theft. In September 2008, 12 baggage handlers were arrested on suspicion of stealing goods from luggages worth €450,000. In February 2011, 20 baggage handlers were arrested on suspicion of stealing from the luggage of passengers. In November 2012, 11 baggage handlers and 2 maintenance workers were arrested for stealing valuable items from luggage. Mehran Karimi Nasseri. On the 26th of August 1988, Mehran Karimi Nasseri found himself held at Charles de Gaulle Airport by immigration. He claimed he was a refugee, but had his refugee papers stolen. After years of bureaucratic wrangling, it was concluded that Nasseri had entered the airport legally and could not be expelled from its walls. But since he had no papers, there was no country to deport him to, leaving him in residential limbo. Nasseri continued to live within the confines of the airport until 2006, even though French authorities had since made it possible for him to leave if he so wished. Nasseri was perhaps the inspiration for the 2004 film The Terminal. In July 2006 he was hospitalized and later taken care of by charities. He did not return to the airport. Animals. The grassy lands on which the airport is located are notorious for rabbits and hares, which can be seen by passengers at certain times of the day. The airport organizes periodic hunts and captures to keep the population to manageable levels. Statistics.